comes the insurance. We shed, we rise, no more fat disguise. From dawn till dusk, feel the burn, no lies. Everywhere you're living, we rugged every ride.
We need to talk. It is Saturday, the day after the 10K, and I did it. I did it. I did the 10K, and I did not get swept off the course. I redeemed myself from the Springtime Surprise 10 miler. And let's talk about it. Let's do a race recap. So by this time, I don't know when I'm gonna post this video. I don't know if I'm gonna do this first or last, but eventually on this channel, you will see the expo vlog, the beginning, the race itself, the little footage I got at the race, and everything I did afterwards. So it might be a series of 3 or 4 videos, but this has to be its own separate video where I talk about the race. So the race happened Friday morning. It starts at 5 a.m. So I had to get up at like 2:30. And I went to bed early. I went to bed like 8 o'clock-ish, 8:30. And I passed out, but I was so nervous and excited that my body woke myself up before my alarm. So I was up at like 1:30 in the morning, and I was just on my phone, just chilling, relaxing, staying in bed. But then when the alarm did finally go off, I got up, got dressed, headed out. I have a rental car here. And I went and drove to Epcot, where the race starts and finishes. So got there, parking, security, yada, yada, yada. Go at the beginning of the race. I got there around 3. And when they opened, as soon as they opened for all the runners and spectators, so I did all the things. I went, and so, and each race has their own theme. Each race has their own mascot, and whoever their mascot or their theme is, they would have characters pertaining to that. So of course mine is Chip and Dale, and the theme was mystery stories. And so they had Chip and Dale there, of course, in their Rescue Rangers outfits, which is dope. Very nostalgia for a millennial like me. And I always loved Chip and Dale. Ever since I was young, growing up, they were like my favorite side characters of the Disney stuff. Like, again, Chip and Dale, Rescue Rangers, all that jazz. So I went and took a picture, pre-race picture with them, with my bib and everything. And then they also had a Fat Cat and Splash Pad. No, not Splash Pad. Fat Cat and the other rat from Rescue Rangers, the other mouse, Mortimer. I can't remember, but the other sidekick of this show, there as well. Monterey Jack, I was trying to get it. Monterey Jack and Fat Cat there for meet and greet. I didn't get a picture with them because they are such rare characters. They hardly come out, that their line was hella long before and after the race. Like, people were waiting like over an hour, 2 hours. So I did not do them, but they also had Duffy, the Disney bear. He's like the mascot at Epcot. Like Mickey Mouse official teddy bear. Duffy was there, and also Dopey, because during marathon weekend they have the Dopey challenge, which is for runners who run all 4 races. And so Dopey, besides the marathon, out in the parks, he can be a rare character. A lot of people don't ever get to meet him. When they go to Disney World, on special occasions, he might do meet and greets and stuff like that. Special parties like the Halloween parties and stuff like that, Christmas parties. But for the most part, it's hard to catch Dopey. So I took advantage of this opportunity. Even though I only ran the 10K, I didn't do the Dopey challenge, I went and took a picture with Dopey. And so that was fun. So by the time I got through with that line and took photos with him, it was time to go into our corrals. Now the corrals are groups A through G. I was in group E, so I was 2 corrals from the Balloon Ladies, who are the official or unofficial pacer requirements. The thing about Run Disney and Disney races in general, is that these races are timed. It's time for security, it's time for safety, and it's a time race because they have to reopen the highways, the roads for their guests, because they don't want to hinder all of their guests just for these races, because there are people who are still vacationing in Disney World during this time who don't know anything about Run Disney, who don't do anything race related. So they have to have the roads open at a certain time. So to do that, they require that you can run or walk at a 15-minute per mile pace. And so technically 16 minutes, but technically it's 16 minutes, but everybody trained for 15 minutes as a buffer, so they could meet characters or stop and get a drink of water, or they might have to stop and go to the porta potty during the race. So people train for 15-minute per mile pace, even though legally it's 16-minute per mile. But anyway, the balloon ladies walk at that pace. They keep that consistent pace walking. They don't run, they don't jog, they walk. They power walk, and those women are fast to do that 15, but they keep the pace requirements. So they're the very last people to start the race, to start at the start line, to leave the start line. They're the very last people because they are that timed. And so everybody who in the Run Disney community are afraid of seeing the balloon ladies, because that's a sign that you're going too slow. And if they pass you any time of the race, Disney security slash promoters or anybody can pull you off the course, put you on the bus, and take you back to the finish line, and you don't finish the race. That's what happened to me at the 10-mile race during Springtime Surprise last April. And y'all seen the vlogs, y'all saw the stories. Of course, I was sad and disappointed. I cried, but I trained the rest of the year. I said I would not get swept again, and I proved that this race. So I'm super proud of myself. But I'm not going to sit there and act like this race was easy. 6 miles is a lot. It's a lot. So if people say, oh, I'm just doing the 3 miles is a lot. If people walk around saying, I'm just doing a 5K, I'm just doing a 10K, ain't no just. That shit is a challenge, and a challenge indeed. But anyways, the first mile start off great. Running, doing the run walk intervals. My intervals was 30-30, run 30 seconds, walk 30 seconds. And if I felt good, I ran a little longer than 30 seconds if I was feeling good. So the first mile was good physically. Mentally up in here, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I was freaking the fuck out. Yes, I did have like a 30, not 30 minutes, maybe a 20-minute buffer, I think, at Corral E, because I was the first wave of Corral E. They had 3 waves for each corral. So Corral A, wave 1, Corral A, wave 2, Corral A, well, that's how they were. And so I had a good amount of buffer in between me and the last corral, aka the balloon ladies, in G. So I was good physically, doing my run walk, but mentally I was still freaking out and panicking, because I was like, because one, the first mile and some change, I don't know the exact measurements, but this first mile and some change was definitely all highway, all road, all street. So there was no theme parks. So in my head, I was freaking out. Like, what if I don't make it to Epcot? What if I don't make it to the boardwalk? What if I don't make it? What if I don't even make a 5K before the balloon ladies catch up with me? So I was freaking out, and I was going. And when I walked, I was having an anxiety attack. I'm not gonna lie. I kept it peaceful because I had my music on, and I was like, so I wasn't like, but people thought I was heavy breathing because I was fat. That too, but I was heavy breathing because I was panicking the whole time. I never looked back. I always looked forward. I never looked behind me when people were crossing and running around me and stuff. I stayed to the right because I walked a lot, and I kept, running, stopping. Of course, you have the rules. You raise your hand to let people know when you're about to walk. But I was panicking. That first mile, I was panicking. Then we finally get to the backside of Epcot theme park where the mile 2 marker showed up, and I was like, okay, I made it to mile 2. Give me the mile 3. And I will say this is always, when they say mind over matter, I know that's cliche, but they are telling the truth. It is mind over matter. So I just kept giving positive affirmations to myself. And the biggest positive affirmation I kept repeating the most throughout this race was, I can do hard things. because I've done hard things. I've done hard things before, so I can do hard things now. And so I just kept repeating those phrases over and over and over again. Constantly, I can do hard things because I've done hard things. I'm doing hard things. I've did hard things, just to keep me motivated. And every time I got to a new mile marker, like when I got to mile 2, I was like, okay, I got to mile 2, and I started talking to myself. I was like, mind, body, spirit, let's get to mile 3. So every time I got to a mile marker, I kept saying mind, body, spirit, let's get to mile 4. Mind, body, spirit, let's get to mile 5. Like I kept repeating it over and over in my head. And at one point I even said it out loud. So if people heard me talk to myself, I really was trying to mentally push myself through, and it is what it is. But and throughout the entire thing, and people passing me and running by me, so many people tapped me on my shoulders, gave me a thumbs up, gave me a high five, and said, we're proud of you. You can do it. Keep going, keep moving. And I guess because the look on my face, especially miles 1 and 2, I was panicking. My lips probably got all white because when I get nervous, my lips get white, and I'm constantly rechapping, putting chapstick everywhere and stuff. And luckily, I had some in my pocket. When I get nervous, I start to shake a little bit and stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure my face showed that I was not having a good time during miles 1 and 2. But so many people who kept walking past and running past was like, you got this. Keep going. Great job. We're proud of you. Just complete strangers that I've never met, never talked to. Just like one lady actually stopped and was like, I'm proud of you. You got this. I see you. You're working hard. Keep going. And so thank you to everybody on their course who encouraged me. All you complete strangers. Matter of fact, one lady, she gave me her name. Her name is Cheryl. Cheryl, you really pushed me through when we were almost toward the end, and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. You really gave me that confidence. So thank you everybody who encouraged me throughout this course thing. But once we got to mile 2 and we end up in Epcot Park, I started to feel a little more confident. My anxiety started going down because I was like, okay, I made it in the park at least. Now let's see if I can do a 5K. I could do a 5K. Let me see if I can keep this pace up and get to mile 3. Got to mile 3, no problem. And because it was in the park, and once you get into the park, the entertainment, the characters, I didn't stop for any characters, but I did, as I walked by, took video. So you'll see it on the running vlog of each character that I could see, because there were some characters off to the left side where I was on the right side, because they asked walkers stay to the right side, especially the slow walkers. So you're not impeding traffic. So if the character was way off to the left, I didn't get videos of that, but I tried to get as much videos of all the characters. And once you get in the park, man, it's characters, it's entertainers, it's singers and bands, high school bands, marching bands. That's what I'm trying to say. So many people, just almost every mile or mile and a half, of entertainment. So mile 2 to mile 3 was very easy for me because I had so much distraction, so many things to look at, so many, we were off the highway, and so I had a lot of things keeping me focused to where I wasn't concentrating on balloon ladies, I wasn't concentrating on time, I wasn't concentrating on when my back started to feel hurting, or when I started to feel chafing in my thighs, because that did happen around between mile 3 and mile 4. So once I hit that, once my watch started vibrating to let me know that I hit a 5K, because I had my fitness watch on, that's when my confidence really went up and my anxiety went down, because I was like, I just did a 5K. I just got to do another 5K. I just did a 5K. I can do hard things. And so by that time, we started leaving the back end of Epcot towards the Boardwalk Resort. Now, the Boardwalk Resort is very triggering for me because that was when I got swept at the 10 miler. And at the Boardwalk Resort, Boardwalk Resort was kind of similar in mileage, like miles 3 and 4. So when we got to that boardwalk, we got up that hill between Epcot and the boardwalk. I walked slow for the hill part because my back was hurting. It was on fire, like blazing. And And then when we went downhill, I picked up speed and started running again, started doing a light run again downhill. But once we started making that loop around the boardwalk, the hotel resorts, and there were people, families, there were people who were staying at the hotels who did not have families, but they came down to cheer us on and like clap and wave and stuff like that, which was really dope. That part, I stopped caring about time, because I said, hey, I'm halfway through this race. If I get swept, I'm good. Mentally, if I get swept, I'm good. That's what I made once I made mile 3 to mile 4. And when I saw mile 4 marker, it was on the other end of the boardwalk leading back into Epcot. It's like one big loop. You go out of Epcot into the boardwalk, all the way around boardwalk. And when I say boardwalk, it's different resorts, different hotel buildings, and different restaurants in between. So it's like a big, giant, huge loop. It's a big, giant loop, probably pretty much a mile long loop around and back to the back side of where cast members can enter, back into the Epcot park. And so it's a big, giant loop back into the Epcot park. And when we made it to the other side of that loop, to the final end of the resort, the hotels, that's when we saw mile marker 4. And as we was walking out of the boardwalk area back into Epcot, the balloon ladies and the security and the sweepers, the people on bikes, were just now entering the boardwalk. So we had a mile ahead of them. So, and there were people who were cast members, volunteers, who were telling, hey, the balloon lady, you are 1 mile ahead of the balloon ladies. So it was great to have that warning, and it was great to have that signal, because I knew that I was good. I was great. And I started getting real confident in myself, and I started picking my pace up, and I was enjoying it. And then when I got tired, I would walk. But I was really, really good and confident, and I no longer was afraid of being swept, going back into Epcot and going back to the other side of the World Showcase. Because if you've never been to the Epcot, then you probably don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But if you have been to that park, you know, you will know that we ended, then we came back into England, London area, all the way around to get to, you know, Canada and all that stuff, to get to the front of the theme parks. So that was mile 4. Going into mile 5, and they did, once we got to the land where Nemo ride and stuff like that, they did cut and pivot us backstage to go around the land pavilion backstage to get that 5th mile. And so we go backstage, and I'm still good. It's a big crowd. I'm nowhere near the sweepers, you know, nowhere near the balloon ladies. We're still ahead of schedule. Everything is good. And I did start to feel chafing even more in my thighs. And luckily this race, my ankle did not give me any problems. Now, it was on fire after the race, but during the race, my ankle, the one with the deformed ankle that I discovered during my training, did not give me any problems. And I want to thank Coach Garrett for the stretching workouts that he's been giving me that I do every day. And it's just been great. It's just been amazing. I thought I was going to have to use my medications for the inflamed ankle. I did not have to pop a pill not once this trip. Yes, there was soreness, but it wasn't like excruciating pain. But during the race, my ankle was good. My thighs, however, they were burning, in my back. But anywho, we made it to mile 5, which was going back from behind the scenes of Epcot back into the theme park where the guests normally sees, you know, the rides and stuff like that. So we're seeing all that amazing, more characters we're seeing almost around every corner. So many PhotoPass photographers. It was so many photographers throughout this course all over Epcot. It was amazing getting those pictures of us during the race. And it was great. It was amazing. And I got some good shots. I can't wait to post those on social media. But it was amazing. And then we finally got to the ball, the big ball, Spaceship Earth. That's the name of it. For those who don't go to Disney and don't know what the big ball is, Spaceship Earth. We made it there. And that's usually where you know we're almost at the finish line, because that's at the front of Epcot Park. And so the way the race is, you enter from the left side of Spaceship Earth and you go all the way around the front side, all the way around the ball, and then to the right side, and you go back under the ball on the right side where the gift shop is, and you go around backstage to go towards mile 6. And no matter what, at the end, or when you go backstage after you pass Spaceship Earth, you go backstage towards the finish line, it always ends with the choir, the high school choir that's there every year. They are the final entertainment, the final finale. That lets you know you've made it to the finish line. And I don't know, I forgot what song they were singing when I walked past, but it was perfectly fitting for the occasion. And so I was so happy. But I forgot to tell y'all, when I made it to Spaceship Earth to the ball, the balloon ladies walked past me, and you will see in the vlog, I started to freak out. The balloon ladies passed me, the people on the bikes passed me, but the last person on the bike, the sweeper, said, "You're good. Keep going. You're good. You're fine. You're not getting swept." In his own way. You know, he didn't really say you're not getting swept, but he was like, he winked at me and said, "You're good. Keep going." And because at this point, everybody passed me. When people who were running with me saw the balloon ladies, they took off, they booked it, and I was dead last. I tried to run. I really did. But my legs and my back said, "Fuck no, we're not doing this. You better walk." So when we finally got past Spaceship Earth, backstage where the choir is and everything, the sweepers let me know that I was good, I was safe, and I kept going. Gave me a little boost. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all for giving me that boost, that extra magical boost. I went and I made it to mile 6 marker. Made it to the finish line. At that point, I lost it. I was crying. And I'm going to try not to cry right now. I'm so sensitive. I don't know why I'm a sensitive thug. But I got to that mile 6 marker. I took a selfie with it. And I lost it. I started tearing up. And I could see the whole crowd of people who were with the balloon ladies, keeping up with the balloon ladies. I could see them. And I could see the announcers. And one of the announcers, Carissa Galloway, shout out to Carissa. She's amazing. She encouraged me back in Springtime Surprise during the 10 miler. She gave me words of wisdom and, you know, told me that I could do hard things, that anything is possible. So when I saw her, I broke down and I ran to her and I said, "I did it. I didn't get swept. I can do hard things." And she was so happy. The other announcers were happy. She gave me a big hug. They encouraged me. They gave me positive affirmations. And she even asked me how did I feel. And I talked about it on the mic. So I was interviewed somewhere. And people on Facebook did send me videos of that interaction. So thank y'all, strangers on Facebook who sent me those videos. But she was like, "You did it. Now go get that medal." And I was going to go get the medal. And then she said, "Come back. Give me another hug." So I went and gave her a sorry, y'all. In the middle of me talking, the camera died, the battery died. So where did I leave off? Okay, so Carissa said, "Go get your medal." And I turned around and I saw Mickey. Mickey was at the top of this ladder podium. And I took a selfie with him. Once I took a selfie with him, she said, "Come back and give me one more hug." So I went back to Carissa, gave her one more hug. When I turned around, there was nobody there at the finish line but the photographers and the staff and the cast members. And I heard her in the mic say, "Run, run and get that medal. Congratulations. You are the final finisher of the 10K. And I took off running and they shot off confetti. It sounded like fireworks. It was like a big explosion. They shot off confetti behind me and sorry. I was trying not to cry. The last vlog, the last race I did, I cried because I got swept. And this time I'm crying because I did it. I did the hard thing. And even though I was last, I'm not even ashamed of being last. I'm actually honored. I'm fucking honored and happy to be the final finisher to cross that finish line. Because that was a challenge. That was a defeat. I know there are people who are running all 4 races. The 5K, the 10K, the half, the full. That is a challenge. That is a feat. But from my perspective, from where I'm coming from, with being overweight, with struggling with losing weight, struggling with health problems, with breaking my left ankle year before last, and then during my training for this race to discover I had a deformed in my bone in my right ankle. Just so much stuff was happening, and then the mental toll, the mental health shit, like there's been so much I've been going through mentally and emotionally. So being the final finisher, it meant a lot, because this really was a competition of me versus me. Not me versus anybody else. Not me versus other racers. This wasn't a competition with no other human being but myself. This was a competition between me and what's up here and what's in here. And I've always tried and attempted so many different things growing up. This meant a lot. This was something that I really, really worked my fucking ass off, tried to achieve, and I did it. I won. I won this battle against myself. And I'm so proud of myself. So again, thank you to everybody who supported me, everybody that cheered me on, people in the reptile community, people in the Run Disney community, just everybody. My social media has really blown up with so much love and affection that y'all have given me, and I really do appreciate it. I did it. I did the hard thing. Here's the medal to prove it. And I will definitely, this is my favorite medal of all time. Out of all the races I've done in the past, this is my favorite medal of all time, because emotionally, this race meant so much to me. And this is the proof. This is the proof. And it's Chippendale, my guys. Yeah, so that was my race recap of the Walt Disney World 2026 10K. And the theme was, what's your story? So quite fitting. I'm sharing my story. This was my story. This is my redemption. From a self-proclaimed loser to a winner, a final finisher of the Run Disney race. I did it. I didn't get swept. And I'm so proud and happy of my accomplishment. And shout out to all the cast members. Oh my gosh. I went to Downtown Disney, aka Disney Springs. I'm gonna keep calling it Downtown Disney because I'm an old head and I'm stubborn as hell. But I went to Disney Springs because they do have a PhotoPass photography area studio, and I got some of the pictures printed. And shout out to the lovely cast member. They actually blessed me with an extra print. And I don't want to snitch and say their name because I don't want them to get in trouble. But they really did make a magical moment for me, so I appreciate that. But I bought the finisher photo, well, one of the finisher photos of me crossing the finish line. And as you can see, the confetti behind me. And then, of course, excuse me, the pre-race photo with me and Chip and Dale before the race. Them dressed as rescue rangers. And so I got these that I'm gonna have on my desk at work. And then it was a package, so you get 4 different poses. It was a package that you get 4 different poses, 2 different sizes. So those were the 2 sizes for that pose. And then I got smaller prints that I'm gonna give to my mom of me with Dopey during the expo. No, this was the pre-race too. During the pre-race. And another finisher photo, but this one actually has the clock with the time that reminds me of when I ended the 10K race, the actual time. So yeah, and I'm gonna keep that picture to remind me of my training for the next race, because I will be back again in the future. The next time I come back and do a Run Disney race, it's not until I reach my weight goal, my weight loss goal, and I'm going to do the marathon. So this is going to be motivation. This picture right here, because it has the time on there, to motivate me to beat that time, to be a lot faster than that time for the marathon as far as my average pace. So I got those pictures. Oh, and I got another picture. I went back again and got one 5x7 frame to frame in my house, because I want those pictures on my desk at work. So I want a picture to frame in my house, in my room, by my manifestation board, my vision board. And this is when the cast member had blessed me or gave me a magical moment with an additional photo. So I went back and I got this picture. It was I got so many different angles. Those photographers did an amazing job. Shout out to all the PhotoPass photographers, because I have above photos to the right, photos to the left. They did a hell of a job. And so I went, shout out to every PhotoPass photographer. I went and got the front facing picture of me. And this is going to be my profile picture on Facebook. But this is with the confetti in the back. That's what I went to go buy. And this is the additional picture that the PhotoPass photographer printed for me. So that was the above angle. And so shout out to all those PhotoPass photographers. I really appreciate it. Shout out to everybody. Everybody. And like I said, even on social media, people have been giving me so much love. My Threads has blown up since I made the post. And I'm kind of nervous and scared because that's too many eyes on me. But I do appreciate all the love that I've gotten. This has really been one truly magical, amazing weekend. I leave to get on the plane and go back home tomorrow, but this is one for the books, y'all. This is another reason why I'm not coming back until I lose all this weight and do the marathon. It's not going to be next year. I'm letting y'all know that right now. Probably going to be 2028. I have a gut feeling that 2028 is going to be the year. At the most 2029. But when I tell y'all, this weekend was one for the books that I will never forget. I will never forget 2026 marathon weekend. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm blessed. I'm satisfied. The memories were made. The memories were made. And so, anyways, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. If I haven't already posted the expo videos, the vlog from the race, please tune in. Those vlogs will be coming if I haven't posted it already. If I have posted it, I hope y'all watched those and enjoyed it. But we did it. We did it. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. More goals coming soon. More races coming soon. I am doing a lot of local races this year. More local races than out-of-town races because I need to save money. I'm be honest with y'all. I'm dead broke. This trip, I was here on a wing and a prayer. I'm staying in someone's studio, backyard studio, in an Airbnb because it was the cheapest. And I rented a car via Turo. Shout out to Turo because it was cheaper than like the normal car rental places. And I saved a lot more money than lifting and Ubering. So I was on this trip on a wing and a prayer. I'm so broke that I did not go to any theme park. That's wild. I came to Disney World and haven't stepped foot in any theme park minus me running through Epcot on a race. But anyways, this is one for the books. This is the most memorable and happy weekend of my life. And I thank y'all and I appreciate y'all. Keep following the journey. More races to come. More goals to come. More weightlifting and powerlifting. I'm not giving up on myself. And I hope you don't give up on yourself. Follow your dreams. Because we can do hard things. Peace.
Treadmill marathon got me building endurance. Life's a competition, so here comes the insurance. We said we